wait. They were like, what?
And I was like, boss, please. Hey, bosses. Welcome to a new episode of Boss Please. I'm Jillian.
I'm Megan.
And we're here to bring you a delightful episode.
A
If I do say so myself.
A delightful episode.
Megan, how are you a boss this week?
Okay, so maybe this is like how I wasn't a boss, but like I think it's kind of a funny story, so I'm going to tell you. Okay. Literally, this is so Megan, right? So last night, the night before, I got myself some gluten-free breakable chocolate chip cookies, and I was like, this is perfect because I can just make one or two at a time. Well, I am a idiot, and I put it into my my toaster oven microwave, my toaster oven, not microwave, toaster oven. But I, because I'm lazy and I didn't think it was going to matter, I did not put a sheet under it. So of course the cookies fall through. I'm watching Netflix, totally not even paying attention. I look up and my entire toaster oven is on fire. And I was like, oh, and I'm by myself. And so I like run over and I like turn it off. And usually with cheese that has happened before, but usually once you turn it off, the flames kind of dissipate. Yeah. This did not. The cookie was fully engulfed in flames. So I called Garrett, my firefighter boyfriend, who was working, and he did not answer. And I'm like, oh my God. So I get a pot topper and I open the thing and I'm trying to smother the flame, but then the pot topper just ends up getting stuck and it starts melting because the thing is so hot. So I take it out, I end up burning my finger, and finally I was like, you know what? I always get nervous with water and flames because sometimes it makes it worse, I think. But I was just like, fuck it. So I took a cup and I just splashed my whole toaster oven with water, and finally the flame went out. And Garrett, so then he calls me and he's like, hey babe, everything okay? I'm like, I almost had to call you, like 911 style. And so it wasn't really a boss moment, but I guess it was a boss moment because I handled it myself. It was a brief moment of panic, and I thought I was going to die, but it's fine. Everything worked out fine, and I didn't need a man to help me. So boss moment.
I love it.
Okay, what about you?
Well, I had a pretty challenging situation at work.
Oh gosh.
And I kind of had to keep my cool and also help other people keep their cool as well. So I couldn't really show how I was feeling because I had to worry about others. I would imagine that's how like a mother would feel.
Yeah.
Where if there's like chaos happening behind the scenes, but nobody knows the chaos is happening, and you kind of have to just like act like yourself, or put out fires. So I think I'm really, my boss moment is that I was really proud that I kept my cool and I was able to help people through something that was happening, and everything is going to be okay. Good. Which is the big takeaway from all of this. But anytime I'm thrown in a situation like that, it's just really nice to know that I still have those coping skills in my back pocket. It's like, okay, I can still like put out some fires. No
pun intended.
No issue.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
Yeah. So let's talk about our boss moment, or not boss moment. Our real talk. Well, what am I thinking?
That's okay. My God. It's the wine. It's the wine getting to us.
I know. So what is one move that you look back on and are so glad you took a chance with?
I was reading this question earlier in the rundown, and I was like, so many. Life is all about making moves and taking chances. And every day there are situations that come up where you're like, you take a chance, you take a leap. It could be the wrong one. It could be the right one. The one that stuck in my mind, because sometimes I still feel like, did I do the right thing? But at the end of the day, I did. It was a very hard decision for me to leave Purdue and go to Emerson. That was something I didn't foresee me doing, transferring schools. I was very happy to get into Purdue. Okay. But then I'm thinking, if I never left Purdue, if I graduated with my communications degree at Purdue University, great. Would I have had a successful life? Absolutely. But I never would have met you. I never would have had half the opportunities or the internship I had, or maybe even moved to LA if I had never gone to Emerson. So that is one thing that I'm definitely glad I took that chance, and I did that with my life. But there are countless others. But what are yours?
I am so glad that I Facebook friended Seamus. I know
Actually, that was my other one, but yes, no.
I know that's like super weird, but if I didn't do that, I would have never been with him and where I am now. So I'm really glad that I took that chance. And like, I don't know if he'll ever admit that, but like, seriously, I was the one that Facebook friended.
Girl, it's always
he
the
made
girl.
the first move by messaging me, but I was the first person. Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like, that was a big, important move that I'm so glad that I did.
Well, that was the other thing I was thinking of. I was like, I'm so glad I wrote my name and number on that movie ticket I had in my car and handed it to Garrett. Did I ever tell the story on the podcast? Oh, I did. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, that was my other big leap of faith.
Well, somebody else who took a leap of faith is Jillian Wilson. She took a leap of faith and started her own PR business. So we are going to have her in a few minutes when we come back.
I love it.
All right, welcome back, bosses. So we have Jillian Wilson here. How are you, girl?
I'm good.
Good. Okay, so Jillian is a marketing and PR strategist, creating unique and sustainable identities for global brands. A native New Yorker, Jillian holds a BA in communications from Emerson College. Woo! You guys know that we love Emerson here. Jillian founded her own Los Angeles-based marketing and PR firm in 2016 with notable first clients such as the Television Academy, no big deal, and Don Mischer, no big deal. She produced social media for the 68th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards and was nominated for a Shorty Award for Best Social Integration on Instagram. After discovering a need for marketing resources in the medical field, she's created a niche for herself in the Beverly Hills community. Today, she helps grow medical practices, marketing world-renowned plastic surgeons, and develop international brands. Clients include Dr. Leff Rogers, Jason Emmer, Blush Beverly Hills, and Infusio. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So, actually, the last time I saw you, you were starting this business. So I know that wasn't the original dream because we went to school together. I've known you for a while. So can you talk about your first job out of college and what caused you to pivot?
Okay, there's been a few pivots.
Okay.
And wow, the last time I saw you,
that's okay.
I was struggling. Yeah, so when I graduated college, I actually moved out to the Midwest. I was a one-woman reporter. I was pitching stories, shooting, editing, going on the interviews, and then racing back to the newsroom, cutting stories, and then going on air and doing the news. That was every single day. It was a grind, and it was very, very challenging, but it was the best thing I could have done for my career because it was boot camp. It taught me discipline and how to create content, good content, every single day. So yes, it was a bit miserable being in the middle of nowhere, and my whole entire life was reporting, but I learned a lot. That being said, really can't do the whole waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, working until midnight, living in the middle of nowhere. It was just not for me. So moved out to Los Angeles and started working in TV. My first job was at The Voice, which, they'll always be family.
Actually, Valerie Peterson has been a guest on our podcast before. Do you remember Val?
Of course I do. Love Val. Hi, Val. So, I worked there for 5 seasons, and I worked with, it takes a village. There's so many people, so many different companies that make The Voice happen. So Universal Music Group and Warner and NBC. So I was able to make a nice network of people in Los Angeles, but I wasn't really being challenged at The Voice. I kind of hit a point where there wasn't any upward mobility for me. So that's when I kind of branched out and started doing more PR. And then I decided to actually start my own company.
Yeah.
Which is it was a bold move. It was a really giant leap. Looking back at it, I don't know how I had the chutzpah to go and do it, but I did it, and I'm really thankful that I did.
Yeah. So I want to talk about your business, Jillian Wilson PR, and you said it's evolved quite a bit throughout the years. So how did it start? And talk about the evolvement.
Okay, so it started with entertainment.
Uh-huh.
I remember my first big pitch meeting was with the Television Academy with Don Misher Productions to do social media. And I stressed over the pitch. I mean, it was my first big pitch meeting with huge potential clients. And I really worked hard on that. And I was so scared. But I walked in there like I have had a business for the last 10 years. And you want me to be your social media producer because I'm the best out there. I mean, really, I sold it. Damn. That was a sell.
Get it, girl.
And and that's what it takes. I mean, people don't realize it's really just believing in yourself. Mm-hmm. And if you believe in yourself, you end up having it. Yeah. And you can make things happen. So that's how it started.
That's amazing.
I literally always say, like, Hollywood is, you're basically in a room full of fakers at all times. Because it's true. Like, people have so much confidence and know so little that they're just like, you know what? I'm going to figure it out along the way. It's fine.
Exactly. Say yes. And then figure it out later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the thing is, and I'm speaking for all of us, we're all so talented in our own ways. Like, you were probably more than qualified for the job, but it's society that makes you think that you have to have so many levels before you get there. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like, how old are you?
Because I'm sure you did great. I'm sure they loved you. You know what I mean? For your pitch or whatever. It's all just, you're right. I love it. I love it so much.
So...
And then you obviously made this pivot into more of like medical, right? Yes. Medical aesthetics. So kind of what took you there? Was it something that you saw that was like missing? Like you're like, oh my God, I could like cash in on this?
Well, okay. It hit a point in the working in entertainment where I wasn't making any money. And that was really, really hard. And I remember... it was bad. I actually picked up a job waitressing because the clients that I was working with, they were much younger. They were just starting off, and they would have the label or the company that they were working with pay for everything. So then when I would ask for a rate, which was very small, they didn't want to pay for it. So I'm like, okay, I need to pay my rent. And I picked up a job working at a restaurant. And I remember my parents being like, you went to Emerson, like you could get a job wherever you want. Like, why are you so stuck on having your own business? You know, like get a job. You know, we're not going to help you just have this dream of having your own business. Like you're on your own. Mm-hmm. And that's when I really had to get creative and think, okay, who needs what I do? And I thought medicine, beauty, Beverly Hills, doctors. And that's how I got into it all. So it was a great move because now looking at it today, I mean, aesthetics is all over Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And 3 years ago, it was not the case.
Did you have a passion for that kind of stuff before? Or was it just a light bulb, like this is the industry that needs what I do right now? And then it sort of developed from that?
I mean, I've always been into beauty and skincare and taking care of myself. You know, I like dressing up and doing my hair and makeup. So it's always been something that I like, but it wasn't ever something that I actually thought about as a job or career. Never was I like, I could picture myself in scrubs. No.
So what goes into what you offer to your clients?
So a big part of what I offer is overall marketing and PR strategy. That's the umbrella of it all. But underneath, it's video production, the content creation, and brand development. What is your voice going to be? How are you going to tell your story? How are you going to show who you are and what you sell? And connect with people and make people like you and want to go to you and also follow you, because it's different going to a doctor or going to a spa than, you know, just looking at pretty pictures of, you know, pretty people or pretty things. It's very different. So really creating a voice for them and a vision and kind of like a story for them, like what they're all about with videos and pictures.
A lot of entrepreneurs have lows. Do you want to tell us what some of those lows were and how you overcame
Yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest low was honestly right after the producing the Emmys and then working with these kind of coming off a high and then going down. That was really, really hard because I started off strong, and then it was fighting for money and just fighting for where I fit in and feeling like I have a lot to offer. I know a lot of things and I put years into reporting. That was a tough time, and I wasn't willing to go into the mailroom of a big agency. And I believed in what I was doing. So I would say the low was feeling very low and trying to find confidence in what I do when, the money's not coming in for what I want. Having to pick up a job at a restaurant when I went to an amazing school and have a great background, and then going into a restaurant and then not having a voice and feeling like, okay, what am I doing? Like,
yeah,
what did I sign up for? And I keep doing this day in and day out. And
so one thing I noticed about some of the accounts that you've had influence over that your business has handled is that you actually appear on the accounts. So I kind of wanted to know, like, how is it for you to use yourself as a model in a sense, and what has been like the best thing that you've done?
Oh, okay. Definitely the best treatment has been the skincare, because I actually dealt with really bad adult acne, and that has been something that starting your own business and then having terrible acne and then feeling insecure and then pitching yourself as, as a business, it's embarrassing, and nobody really talks about it when you're an adult, that it does something.
Full disclosure, I don't mean to interrupt. She has like the most perfect skin I've ever seen in my life. I know listeners, you cannot view.
These days, you're actually glowing.
Like you're stunning. So like she's talking about adult acne. I'm like, what? But like, girlfriend,
when you went to the bathroom, Meghan was like, "Oh my god!"
I'm like, she's stunning. Like
that's all blush. That's the clients. That's
like it's. Anyways, but continue. I didn't mean to interrupt. But I just wanted our listeners to know that you're like just flawless.
Thank you. I was on Accutane twice, just FYI. Also, then after the acne went away, I had really bad acne scars, and they did a treatment on me. Mariana Reguera did a CO2 laser, and that was amazing. People are scared of CO2 because it kind of tears off a layer of your skin, but after 3 months you really see a difference. And
is that like when you put the gray stuff on and then it's zapped off by the laser, or is that a different?
The gray stuff?
It's like, I don't know, like I've seen it on Instagram where it almost looks like a gray like mask, and then the laser goes over it and the gray disappears.
It's kind of like a zapper, and it's like you'll see
okay.
little dots, almost like a little grid,
and then it just like heals.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, and so that has been the best treatment.
Amazing.
That's awesome. So obviously, with a lot of these medical facilities and the beauty, use a lot of influencers. How important are the influencers to have? We've seen like Ashley Iancati on a lot of them. So how does that impact the work that you do?
The influencers are so important because they've totally changed the game in how medical and aesthetics market themselves. Historically, no one liked to talk about plastic surgery or aesthetics. Nobody would say what they had done. And now these influencers come out who are so open and honest. It's really amazing because they tell the story and they're
sorry guys, I just totally touched my water. I'm sorry, continue. I'm a mess over here.
And it's all real. It's not an actress going on and saying, "Oh my gosh, you cleared my acne scars," or it's authentic.
Yeah.
And
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Are the businesses seeing a difference as far as the clientele that's coming in because of all of these influencers that are sharing their stories?
Yes, definitely. The patients that are coming in are much younger because of social media. and just higher volume because, normally before influencers came out about their treatments or even, social media, the demographic that would get these procedures were much older just because of how much income they have and just being able to afford these procedures. Now, you see Kylie's lips exploding and, everyone just getting work done and it becoming so normal, like Botox being like makeup, that people will save their money to get the lips or have their Botox, 4 times a year.
Yeah.
It's funny. Recently, Bella Hadid was named the world's most beautiful woman, and we were just kind of like talking amongst ourselves in our little chat, and I'm like, she's gotten yes, she's beautiful, she's stunning, but like she's gotten work done, and I think it would be so much better if women like her talked about it, because these people are getting paid for their looks specifically. And I think it's kind of, you're in a weird spot, especially when you're younger and you're looking at these photos and you think that this is just the way the person looks, the way this person was born. And I feel like it causes a lot of confidence issues. Like, wouldn't you say?
Yes, definitely. I mean, there's such unrealistic expectations of how a person is supposed to look and what is considered beautiful. It's really sad. And yeah, I mean, it's really bad. And yes, I agree, these celebrities that have everything done should come out, and it's sad. I mean, there are celebrities, I mean, and it's not just Bella Hadid, it's literally anyone that is on TV, any actor, actress. It's not just women, it's men too. A lot of men get cosmetic treatments. They're all getting stuff done. And if you think that they are just naturally like that, you are totally wrong. You're sadly mistaken, because everybody is at their med spa.
And I think that us living in Los Angeles, we see it, we hear it in conversations, we're very open about it, but then people in the Midwest are looking at these Instagram pages, or they're looking at their favorite celebrity being like, oh, I wish I looked like that. So hopefully by us being more open about it and us, just being like, this is life and this is what people do, and yeah, I own it, I'm gonna get lip injections, but like I look hot afterwards, so be it, and just kind of having that open conversation about it, I think will make it, a lot more the norm.
And it's not just celebrities coming out about what they've had done. It's also filters. Like people, filters that make your face skinnier and, make your, your chin kind of come down like this, and the high cheekbones and the lashes. It's really altering people's perceptions of themselves, of other people. And
we all do it. Like, I'm so guilty of it. I just posted a selfie of myself totally filtered on Snapchat. Like, I put it on Instagram, but it's just, you're right. It's like, because I have no makeup on today. So it's like, oh heavens, that anyone sees me without makeup on, but
I think that's too why a lot of people are drawn to aesthetics, because they can bring a picture of them filtered and be like, hey, so could you make me look like this? I know you're rolling your eyes, but it has to happen.
It happens 75% of the time. We were just talking about this. Yeah, it's crazy.
So wait, people come in with like a filtered photo and be like, I want to look like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, you kind of hear it all the time. Like one complaint that I see constantly is hairdressers. They'll have clients bring in photos of these like crazy colors or like bleach blonde, and really it could take an entire day or multiple sessions to like actually get somewhat of the results that they want. So like I can't even imagine what you guys deal with.
Oh my
gosh. I mean, it's cutting the skin and sewing it back together or injecting somebody. Yeah, it's not the same.
But on the flip side, which I think a thing that's really cool about what you do is you have seen some life-changing transformations. You've gotten to witness life-changing transformations. One that I can think of specifically is RuPaul Drag Race contestant Gia Gunn. You were there through her transition. So what was that like for you?
I mean, that was an amazing experience because Gia is just an incredible human being. She's transgender and has shared her experience with the world and has been so open about it. And she actually did a GoFundMe account to get her surgery done. So she did a breast augmentation and fat grafting to her hips and butt to get that hourglass shape. And she was just so awesome, so real. On YouTube, she documented 100 days prior to the surgery, and then during surgery showed it all. And yeah, that was incredible because, you know, it's something that she had thought about for years, ever since she was a kid. And finally she made the decision to do surgery and did it. And she's so happy. I mean, it's been, a year and a half. I actually was just texting with Gia yesterday, and she's so good. She's doing better than ever. So yeah, that was awesome.
And what's some advice that you'd give to someone that, let's say, wants to start their own PR firm or their own business? What would you tell them?
It's a journey. Get ready for a roller coaster ride, because there's highs and lows, and you got to be prepared for that. And no one is going to understand it. So yeah, you can share it with your family and your friends, but no one's really going to get it like you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I love that. Yep.
Well, it's been awesome to see your business flourish in the last couple of years. And it's something that you should be extremely proud of, because you did it all on your own.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So where can the people keep up with you or hire you?
Well, you can hire me first and foremost. If you go to JillianWilsonMarketing.com or JillianWilson.com, or follow me on Instagram at JillianWilsonX. That's my personal page. It's not really
Sexy.
X.
Well, thank you so much, Jillian. And as far as the clients that you have right now, if you want to just run down those again, and people can catch you in action there.
Okay, so Dr. Leff Rogers, Dr. Nima, Mariana Vergara, Blush Beverly Hills, Hair Dreams. Right now, that's all. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Okay, well, Jillian, thank you so much. And bosses, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Boss Please Pod. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. Navigate the path to your best self with us, because bossing together is always better.